play. Get Darshan very strong. Kind of use a split push lane. You have Herald to do that now. In the RNG, that a chance Dragon may not be something you need to get in the beginning of the game to get your team going. So if they can continue to put Darshan on this Jax, this Aurelia, which just got banned out, but something that can carry, it seems like it almost favors them if they can find that Herald avenue to go down for each game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of conversations kind of speculating about why CLG or Immortals aren't doing too well, and it's like, okay, well, you know, maybe they aren't as dominant because the meta shifted. It's like, no, the meta actually shifted into these guys' favor.
Yeah, it seems
range supports, Adrian's all about that. You have top lane carries, Darshan and Huni are having a field day with those, and they're drawing so many bans here. Rift Herald is a fantastic advantage over your lane opponent and allows you to split push. So both of these teams are actually in a great spot because of the meta, and it's just adapting.
I expect this last one to be the Azir. Most likely, Olaf gets taken away from Reignover. Something we have seen come back into play for him, which is very, very helpful as he loves to be aggressive. Will probably be the Rek'Sai for one of these junglers, seeing what gets banned out here. Final one, 10 seconds for Immortals.
It's a good call on the Azir, and the Rek'Sai most likely first pick here as well, but still, things like Trundle are left up. You could still pick that as a gigantic lane bully in the top lane.
We have seen that, giving the Aurelia pick trouble. But that's already been taken out, so if they do take the Trundle, it'll be beasting out against something else, maybe something that will have to build tanky.
Yeah, and the Olaf ban is incredibly interesting to me because I'm looking at pick rates for this champion across Europe. There's picked or banned in 15 of the 20 games in Europe. Incredibly prevalent, and Reignover's the Olaf dude. So you have to ban that away against him. Now we're seeing other teams like Liquid pick it up. So Olaf, very meta now, and a lot of that is due to Reignover at the moment having great performances on it before. And right away.
So the Karma lock-in has been played a few times for Afromu. They do take it away from Immortals. Adrian's used that a few times to get that poke lane and the bot going and a bit of aggression for them. Him and Wild Turtle. But an interesting pickup, Karma for first for CLG with so much left open.
Yeah, I think that the Karma is actually a very intelligent pick to go here because she enables a lot of different picks in the meta. You can pick your Victor and he's going to be able to get in a lot easier. You can pick any kind of lane. You can go with the double speed bot lane with a Sivir, or you can even pick a Swain here.
Very interesting. The Nidalee actually coming out for Reignover with so many plays on that Rek'Sai, so many plays with being tanky for the team, but we do also see the Trundle coming in this time. So that could be Huni's right off the bat. They pick up Nidalee and Trundle.
Yeah, they've been picking Huni's champion really early recently. It usually was before when they're red side. Let's last pick that top laner. Let's make sure he has a good matchup. And now it's just, okay, Aurelia first round, Trundle first round. Let's get this gigantic bully, force them into a different decision and say, okay, we have the pretty much the S tier champion that's left. What are you going to do about it?
Well, they did say we'll go for a few of the experiments. So it looks like they switch up where that tank goes for them for this matchup. Not the first Nidalee Reignover puts into his pocket for the summer. On the other side, we do get the Jax coming in for Darshan, so he is going to be going with that heavy split push if he can get himself going. And Xmithy picks up the Elise.
Yeah, Elise, great CC early. Allows him to go for the lanes that actually have some gank assist too. And with the Karma and the Jax already locked in, you know you're going to have at least two of them. So I like that pick here. I think it's great against Nidalee as well. Yeah, there it is.
Of course, it is going to be the Soraka. That's not a Trundle for Adrian. It's not ranged unless he throws his club. So Lucian gets picked up as well in that. It seems like Immortals is actually getting somewhat what they want. They're not taking too much time to pick. They feel super comfortable just taking the composition. They're able to quickly see. CLG thinking a little bit more on their picks, though. Letting that time drain down so they make sure they get the composition they want.
The Teemo support.
The Teemo support. Our hype guy kind of yelled to the crowd, who would you like to see CLG play, as they were getting prepped on stage, and the crowd yelled Teemo support and gave Afromu a look. So he is right now playing to that, but I don't think we'll select that, unfortunately. Who knows? Maybe he's that much of a bro.
Maybe. I think you go Caitlyn here, and I also think you go Victor if you go standard. But
boom.
It's a Karma. It's a Karma mid. It's a Karma mid.
It is a Karma mid. Fake this out on the Jhin. Goes back over to Ezreal, and it's going to be the Ezreal Bard. Bard's actually something that's found himself on the bans here and there, but gets through in the hands of Afromu, so he actually gets one of his main champions. Got to say for the same for Adrian here. Supports get what they want, and the rest of the teams look awesome for a first matchup of this series.
This is actually really interesting because everybody seems to be on something that's relatively comfortable for them. Adrian, Wild Turtle, Poe Belter, pretty much all on champions that you're just like, yeah, that's a great champion for that guy. Huni now has a bully in the top lane. Reignover, he has something that can farm very quickly and counter jungle. And CLG, more of the same as well. And now you have Huhi on a champion that's a little bit more supportive, right? Huhi has not been lane dominant at all. He's actually 9th in CSD at 10 right now. And with lane swaps, you don't get assistance. So it's all about how is he doing against these guys in mid lane. And the only people worse than him are the P1 mid laners at the moment.
It's funny, we came into this saying, you know, he played a lot of just wave clear back and wave clear back at MSI. Why doesn't he just pick TF? And we said he probably wouldn't do it on blue. Funny that on the red side, Immortals gets the TF this time for that wave clear. Keep each other in lane, and we definitely have teleports on both sides now. So that's going to mean action at 6 if they want. We're tracking the conversation on Twitter, so get out your phones and on your PCs. Contribute your vote by using hashtag CLGWin or hashtag IMTWin, and let us know who you think is going to take game number 1 of this series here tonight. Pretty awesome compositions. Like we said, a little activated at 6, so the early part of the game may just kind of be slow going. If anybody makes an error, it'll actually put the other team very far behind with the compositions we have here. We're about to be out of the rift for Counter Logic Gaming versus Immortals. CLG looking to get some more wins under their belt, and Immortals looking to replicate more of their spring split.
Yeah, and both teams have comfort right now. CLG was talking about the meta. Well, they're still going back to what they know, what they've played before. So these, honestly, excuses that they've been using for their performance, it's more about how they're moving around the map. It's about what they're contesting. The map changed in terms of Rift Herald. How important is that? How important is the Drake? And that's what they're hoping for, is that they've come into this week, and now they're better at understanding when to contest those things.
Remember our featured matchup between Xmithy and Reignover. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the game. Elise versus the Nidalee. Could just be power farm for both of those in the beginning of the game. The wards will be placed deep so they can try and get that matchup that they want for the lanes.
Yep, lane swap wards coming out. Pretty standard here from both of them. CLG love to go for the blind invade. They do this so often, especially when they have Bard or Braum, because it's very hard to hold up to the CC that those supports have. So they just immediately push forward, get their wards down.
They've always been a team, or coming up to this season, that would use that advantage very, very well. They would say, all right, we actually have this, so we can pressure our 2v1, or we can get a gank in a certain lane because of what we did. Here it seems to have fizzled out as they go to swap up.
Yeah, Adrian.
Right ward, though.
But this is the thing. Adrian walks top and starts walking up there, and immediately you see CLG start going the other way and start backing that way, and now they just saw CLG cross that bush. And so Immortals are actually going to go towards the top. So both teams actually want to be in a lane swap, apparently.
Interesting. These always favored Counter Logic Gaming. When we would see it, Aframu would kind of leave what was double lift in a lane by himself, go roam, get some help and kills.
Looks like Adrian got it here. Adrian got the small off of that. And Darshan immediately goes to top lane and just starts pushing it, trying to get as much CS as he can before you start having those early. Reignover already smited, but already level 3. Oh, this is something that I love that Immortals do, is they actually starve Huni in the lane swap, because it's all about who kills the camp now, right? It doesn't go to both people nearby. They give Reignover all of the experience of the very early camps, and then Huni sits around at level 1 while Reignover is like 3.5. And they used to do this before as well.
They actually had, just by chance, Wild Turtle as well in that rotation help with Wolves. So that's maybe why it caught Aframu a little bit off guard when they were already completing that Gromp.
It's like, he's level 3 already?
Yeah, fractions of a second where they finished Wolves early enough. And like you said, all the experience, Reignover already level 4 before 3 minutes into the game.
Yeah, that's power farming right there, where you get your team to help you out. It's a strategy that Immortals were utilizing even before the whole changes. So Xmithy just hit 3. He's going to be able to take out this camp, but now Reignover goes to the other side of the map.
Where's the onus go? Who gets this? Do they do something with it? Because a lot of times we'll see an advantage kind of fizzle out. They're happy with the advantage, but it won't. It's going to be a 3 buff. And that would have most likely been left for Huki in the mid lane, it seems, as Xmithy is looking for that gank first.
Oh, he's got 2 summoner spells, though, so Pobelter
just waltzes away.
Yeah, smart of him, because he knows not to play to that side of the jungle. That's not his. The north and the west side are where Reignover are.
Top side gets taken down as well.
So Fervor for the Trundle. No Grasp, because the Grasp changes. Instead of 2.5 stolen and 2.5% damage and healing. Oh, we'll see here in a second. Rainover's coming on the side, though.
The Ghost repeat. They don't have too much vision towards that top side, so they back off, and they'll trade back. The spear hits. That's the shield coming in from Huhi. They try to get one more tether down. The gold card will hit from the left. Rainover flashes into position to make sure the spear counts. They're going to keep going on this one. Afromu comes in all the way from the roam. Flash Ignite for him as well and his summoners, but they do draw blood on Immortals. It's still 2 for 1, though.
And immediately Rainover, that flash to reposition to throw the spear to get around the minions. Absolutely beautiful there. And Pobelter lining up those gold cards. And Adrian finally comes over. Whew. They gotta watch out for Darshan, though.
So this is also distracting Counterlogic Gaming. Well, Immortals gets a few off of that. They're pulling each other out of the lanes. Darshan's going to pick up a few as he heads towards topside. It'll seem like CLG will try to get just the team back in order, back to a side so they can trade these turrets evenly.
And get towards that top side.
Yep.
Walks all the way across the map. Doesn't have his teleport. He had to use it previously to get to the one side. That's what he gets for having the greedy start where he picks up about 8 more CS than Huni.
Yeah.
So he got to push the wave, and we'll see this one more time. Pobelter throws out the red card. Huni and Xmithy go aggressive. And then Rainover comes in from the side, turns around with the Ghost, throws it, misses the cocoon, and oh wait.
Oh, there's more. More
There
love
is
for
more.
the mid lane. Inner Flame goes off. It's not going to connect with Rainover, but it does with Pobelter. And they're looking to get there. Oh no, he flashes! He didn't have it in time, and they missed 2 kills. Rainover and Pobelter get out alive.
Yeah, the flash there from Pobelter, didn't have to use it previously, and he gets out, inner fire, misses. And nice flash there from Pobelter, knew the cooldown of that ability.
Very, very close. Also kind of slaloming himself through the minions to keep that from hitting him. Turtle, not realizing that CLG is actually within this rotation, as I was talking about before. They could kind of get an upper hand, be in your face when you least expect it as these lanes are moving back and forth.
Yeah.
There they almost get Wild Turtle in a face check, but he gets himself out alive.
Yeah, Afromu was talking about how it's annoying to face Immortals because they keep trying to make plays everywhere, and then 5 people show up somewhere randomly. And it's rather annoying as a shot caller to deal with all of this pressure.
True story. He was not lying. Already quite a bit of kills and action, at least towards the mid lane. Usually that's where we see the least of it coming in. Let the TF gate somewhere. Let that Destiny come off. But they have been going pretty hard at it. It doesn't seem like they're coming back just yet. The outer sides get those lanes pushed up, and we'll see how this game pans out from here. Wards to be placed forward already by Counterlogic Gaming have somewhat allowed them to get aggression on, but it's like when Immortals turns their aggression on, they are at it full force. Party here in the top lane, and Darshan is forced to flash. He's been forced to use everything. It looks like he may be able to make it with his own ward out on that one.
Yep, changes to dodge, makes it so you can't actually get hit by auto attack or basic attack modifiers, so Renekton W and gold card no longer work against the dodge.
So calm, cool, and collected, saving those escapes to use them in the correct order. Immortals use this time to deny a bit of vision on their way out, but still looking very hungry to make plays around the map. They have not stopped yet, and we're just seeing 6. I said the game was going to be gated by level 6, and we won't see much till then. They went off right in the beginning. You see Afromu trying to give Rainover some trouble. Could get a good Cosmic Binding over the wall, but we see Rainover jump out of that one as Huhi continues to just push down that mid wave. 58 to 47 in CS there. Afromu doing some chime hunting as his team pushes up the bottom lane here.
Yeah, and you can see that Twisted Fate right now down. Pobelter is down against Huhi. Huhi, no, he's the one who ended up dying and giving over that extra kill, so you'd expect the pressure to be in Pobelter's favor. But Pobelter, honestly, coming back with the Ionian Boots Lucidity, mostly for the cooldown reduction on the summoner spells. It's the big thing he's looking for, so he can get more of those plays, so he can chase people down with the Ghost.
A little bit of aggression. You see Darshan trying to put on the top lane. He will not give Wild Turtle any room to work with. Turtle has to back off, but unfortunately Darshan cannot make an impact on that one. He's just being yo-yoed back and forth. Again, CLG, instead of the top side, now they invade the bottom side of the jungle. Trying to find Rainover, trying to shut him down, but he's always on the other side, and that may mean first Dragon, Mountain Drake, going over to Counterlogic Gaming.
Yep. First Mountain Drake going over. They'll take the blue buff on this side, though.
No blues yet for Hui.
And pings onto the Rift Herald, so Rift Herald may go over. He's going to check the blue.
Nope.
And knows it's not there, so this is going to go down. May go over to Rainover, honestly. They're putting a lot on him right now. Having him play a carry jungle this game, he has that 1 kill. He's ahead.
Yeah, Huni's not going to be here to pick it up, so it looks like they will. Slowly but surely. And that's what would have loved to see that go on Darshan. It doesn't make or break the game, but with the idea that they want to play this one out with him in a side lane and how big we've seen Jax's get, or even the Aurelias that have been going to the top lane in this meta, really make an impact on the game in 20 or so minutes. And that's when you still have that Rift Herald buff.
Yeah, especially when you go for the lane swap, it delays them a decent amount before he gets that Trinity Force, before he even gets reasonable farm to get towards those items. So the lane swap from, honestly, both teams, they both opted into it. He's going to delay both Huni and Darshan. So it's those other 4 people on the map that are going to have a large impact for the next minute or so, and then it'll turn around and these teleports are all going to come through.
Bot lane, we're looking at Stixxay and Alpha, who also criticized a little bit since they came back. 81 to 60, so faring quite well in the way the swap worked for Chronologic Gaming. Which looks like the mid lane was really the only one to suffer on that. And still up, as we said before, just the kills. 1 for Rainover, 1 for Pole Belter, and we may start to see these teleports come into play soon. There's no objectives on the map, so if it comes to be one of these turret pressures for the mid lane, it might be a big fight.
Yeah, the teleporting to the side lanes, especially after a lane swap where they don't have those tier 1s, can be incredibly potent, especially if some top laner is just walking forward a little bit too greedy. You can't get greedy at all after the lane swap.
Right.
See Huni basically hugging his turret and Darshan doing the same, because he can't even pass. Like, we talk about the halfway point, he can't pass the 3/4 point.
Too dangerous.
Yeah, has to wait for the wave to crash against him, but look at that, 3 people down bottom.
Yeah. They have a great amount of wards here, just a wall of vision to let them know if Immortals is going to try to come over so they can get out fast. They have that Tempered Fate, but they may also have a Destiny behind them they have to worry about. They can get attacked from all sides here by this Immortals composition. Doesn't look like they'll get too much off the bottom turret now. Immortals respects that fact that CLG puts the strength bottom. Darshan slowly getting bigger. You can see Huni is going to be clearing those waves and trying to play the split push as well with his build.
Yeah, going for the Ravenous Hydra here. A little bit more healing for himself. Great for the split push. And he's just going to walk straight up into that top lane. It will slow push back towards him. Checking the wave really quickly. It is a cannon minion wave, so yeah. It will go back towards him. And now you can see both Aphromoo and Stixxay making their way towards that top side as well. So we're probably going to see some action here fairly shortly.
It'll be very interesting.
I may have jinxed it, but
don't jinx it.
Oh, there we go. Here's the Destiny Gate.
Where's it going to come in? There's the pillar over to Aphromoo. They can't really get too much of a grab onto him. Huni's going to be the first one that they look at before he can get a subjugate off. Darshan takes him down, and that's going to be an assist as well for Stixxay and Aphromoo. They're going to keep going. Cards go wildly through the entire team, but Immortals can't regroup enough. They're still pushing bot lane. There's no way for Turtle and Adrian to help on this one, and Darshan and the rest of the team know it as they continue to pile on Immortals members. They get the 2 back that they lost earlier.
Yeah, Stixxay clutching it out there at the end with the W and Q from Ezreal. Really well played there from everybody on CLG. Pobelter saw how many people were there as soon as he Destiny gated, and Aphromoo kept his cool, flashed, threw out the Cosmic Binding, got the stun onto Huni, and they all focused him down. Darshan immediately follows up and matches flash for flash, and that gives CLG a decent advantage.
See what they can do with it. Pobelter goes back. He's going to get himself a Lich Bane, and we'll see this fight one more time. I thought Rainover was actually going to have a good pincer from the back, but he turned away immediately. He's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, they went after Aphromoo to try and collapse here.
That flash, and he's out.
And pick him up. And all of that damage onto Huni. Darshan flashes forward, gets the empowered auto again. And then they're able to chase through. Aphromoo plays this beautifully with the flash Cosmic Binding at the start. And Pobelter's trying to juke, and then he jukes right into it. If he had just hugged the wall and kept running. But Stixxay calls him on it, gets the read.
Great choice of Ignite as well by Aphromoo. Able to kind of shut down Huni there in his healing a bit. They have everything now. Morel and Namakan as well will help in that. Not that they need too much of it. No Vlad in this one. But things are picking up now for CLG. It's got to feel good and confident for Darshan. And right before that fight happened, I was just looking at the stat sheet, and this is actually the first time Huni takes something like Trundle in the summer up to the top lane. He's been on very aggressive plays. The Aurelia for most of his last plays with the Rumble and Lissandra in there. So him being on a tank, definitely going back to that zone he was saying he could play, but liked the damage more. And you could still get that with Trundle. Yeah,
Trundle's kind of that middle ground, that bruiser, almost like an Aurelia. Very lane bully focused, and the fact that CLG had banned out Rumble, Aurelia, and Olaf, they got rid of a lot of bruisers and a little bit of the divers and backline access that you have, because the Olaf just rushes towards your carries, the Aurelia basically tries to blow up your AD carry, and the Rumble has that backline access with the equalizers. Yeah. So they put Huni on something that doesn't allow him to kill Stixxay almost ever.
Watch him kill him over and over. Now that we say that, the reverse caster curse. Coming up on 15 minutes. Looks like another Mountain Drake. It would be very nice for Objective Control and Counter Logic Gaming. They aren't really on that side of the map to favor it, but it doesn't seem like that is their priority. That second tier to trade will be. Did it. It seems like both teams are kind of gentleman's agreement on this one, knowing they have a strong fight, but obviously can't with the way the teams are spread here and taking second tier turrets.
Yeah, take second tier, but this is Immortals picking up that Mountain Drake. You would love to have 2 Mountain Drakes.
Oh, would you?
Oh, you would.
Oh, would you?
Let's see. Oh, wait. They didn't even pull it out, so...
Why didn't they do what I thought they were going to do?
Yeah, there was no smite for Rainover as well. And
I thought that was going to be a Cosmic Binding onto the wall.
Yeah.
It goes for the close Tempered Fate since it falls a little faster.
Yeah, Rainover may have thought the same thing, because he immediately flashed like, right as the animation even began.
So what is that? Oh, it's an ult.
Didn't even want to be in the situation where it would hit, and the ultimate probably would have hit if he didn't flash.
So CLG does not look scared at all to pressure that little bit of a lead they have here, trying to force down mid lane, and they still have Darshan pushing bottom, so they have some time to work with. Looks like they'll back off right away, though. They say, all right, breathing time, go spend the gold that we might have in our pockets, and that is about 3,000 more. Across the pockets of Xmithie, Huhi, and Stixxay. Spent right now. Quite a bit of gold.
They have a lot. The Cull ended up...
Stixxay's on 1,700 along with Xmithie himself, so if they were to take that mid-fight, it'd be very scary with that much, what could be power in their pockets to spend.
Stixxay is sitting at about 1,100 gold more than Wild Turtle at the moment. That kill, as well as the Cull, coming through pretty decently for him.
That first fight that Immortals thought would really be their edge in the game did not go their way. Pobelter could not Destiny in. We saw Huni go down. We'll see how they can repair from that. They seemed a little skittish to try anything else other than get these waves pushed up and basically wait for CLG to make a move. Something that was actually interesting during the Envy games for Immortals, Immortals was very balanced in those games with Envy, but it only seemed like their advantages came when Envy made a big error, when Envy allowed Immortals to really take a big advantage.
Yeah, Immortals actually get a lot of advantage from being Immortals. They actually, it's funny because a lot of teams will fear them because they're like, well, it's Huni and Rainover.
Right.
We can't really play towards that top side. That's scary. Well, CLG, they're showing, we have nothing to lose here. We have everything to gain and start getting momentum in the standings and taking down Immortals. And they're playing fearless right now. Even Huhi in the mid lane, he's walking up, he's on that Karma. It's really safe for him. They're waiting for the plays, not trying to force them. And CLG are kind of playing the map at the moment, and both teams are trying to do that instead of play for the fights, and Immortals are trying to play for the fights a little bit more. The thing is that they're weaker right now in most regards. They're AD carry, they're top laner. It's honestly Pobelter who has the large advantage here over his lane opponent, and that's mostly Twisted Fate passive in that kill.
Right. Looking for that pick, looking for something of a gold card catch out. Maybe Rainover gets another crazy flash javelin to start his engagement. I would not put it past them. Right now, they are on the back foot. Wild Turtle here, slowly moving back, considers the Tempered Fate, but I don't think he gets out in time, and timed just before he comes out of the Tempered Fate invincibility.
Yeah, that could have been really unlucky for him, too, because the Cosmic Binding, it would have checked if it had made contact for that wall, and
still
if
hit
it
the flash. Right.
Exactly. Oh, here comes Darshan, though.
Oh, ooh. That could have been seen as a bop, but the bop does not happen. Azael gets a sad face for that one. Coming up on 20 minutes, you can see now CLG feels confident to make moves behind the turrets. They did get both summoners of Pobelter So that could be a rinse and repeat, but it's going to be something Immortals is much more ready for next time.
Yeah, and they actually had gotten the both the Pobelter's summoners in the previous top lane fight, and then they didn't take advantage of it, and now he has them both back up, and then he used them again. So you're hoping that CLG, they start playing around that mid lane again, and they start trying to force Pobelter out again, even if it's like a Flash Cocoon.
Yeah.
It's a very low mobility Twisted Fate. He has the Lich Bane and the boots, but that's all the move speed he has right now. So you can still hit him with a Cocoon, even if it's point blank, very easy. I mean, you could even throw out the Tempered Fate and try to get a pick that way.
Yeah. You can see how considerate CLG, I wouldn't say considerate, how much they're considering these ganks. We heard Aframu saying, don't really like bloodbaths. And when that one didn't work out, they were quick to kind of disengage, get out, play it safe. They weren't trying to just go for the kill because they had already started.
They're looking for Huni, though. Smithy?
There's a Cocoon over the wall. Smithy's going to play it, give him vision, but still cut him off. Plays it right, forces Smithy to flash.
He goes away
nice
from
try
his
by
team.
Pobelter. And Darshan actually runs that one forward.
Wow. So Huni actually flashed away from his team, and then they walk forward, and then Darshan gets punished, where CLG would have had a clean kill there if they had just backed out.
I think Huni felt like he had the run, pillar, disengage ability. Smithy did have to blow his flash to get that. The split-second decisions not favoring Immortals right now. They did trade 1-for-1. Well, I can't really say it didn't favor them. They may have repositioned here in the mid lane. And if you look at both top and bottom, the AD carries are going wild on those second-tier turrets.
Yep, trying to do as much damage as possible. They both have a Mountain Drake to their name.
So forget what we said about Huni and Darshan split pushing.
CLG,
it's going to be the AD carries.
CLG with the ping.
Oh,
they split up. Afram was alone.
Wait a minute. Afram went the wrong way, and there's going to be no journey for him this time. A quick kill from Rainover as he sees the weak out on the side. He takes down his prey, and it could be even more who he's able to shield himself out and get a little bit of resolve there, as they have a bit of wave clear now in the mid lane with that gauntlet finished and Huhi, but is it enough?
Yeah, a little miscommunication there, or actually it was more of the Bard saying, you guys go that way, I'm going to go this way and head him off and get the stun just so we have our options covered. But Rainover was there, foils the plan, picks up a pick that Aframu was not expecting.
Having those wards on CLG's entry just made that seem a little bit easier. We'll see this top lane fight again.
Yeah.
Where Huni tries to play the getaway game, but like you said, flashes right away from his team.
Yeah, he has to flash this way, though, to break vision.
Because Smithy will be there anyway.
Exactly. He has to flash to break vision, or else he goes into Smithy, or he even just gets queued by Darshan. But then Darshan walks forward, thinking it was a 2-on-1. Even though his wave is back there too, so just really greedy from Darshan from almost all aspects. Because he could have just backed off and gotten that wave that was honestly on his side of the map too.
Right after I say they're not bloodthirsty, they're bloodthirsty. That's how it happens.
You get blood in the eyes, you go a little crazy. I remember that Darshan play where he was playing Ryze and ran all the way under a turret, bot tier 2. It's like, okay, Darshan,
oh, he's gonna die now. Oh, maybe not.
Oh.
There's more of that poke game.
Again.
The pokes start coming in from CLG so they can finish the skirmish afterwards. They'll now take refuge inside the brush in mid lane to try and deny vision. Fights back and forth, the culling, and Rainover spears trading space in the air as they go by each other, and it doesn't look like any will finish the final, or finalize the kill, I should say. Stixxay low on mana, but it looks like they have enough team members to finish off this mid turret with that cannon wave.
Yeah, if you lose this mid turret, that's big because the map is wide open already, and this just opens it up even more. CLG actually get a large advantage from that. So you have so much map pressure now because all those outers are down, both tier 2s on the top and the bottom. So the map is wide open now. You get to own that jungle if you want to, and you can force your way in there, especially since Darshan has a large advantage right now.
Exactly what I was going to say. Since he can just keep dragging Huni now, who was pushing the other waves, Huni has to respect the wave that Darshan's pushing. So Darshan may always have one step up on this.
Yeah, and Darshan and Stixxay are the ones who have the gold advantages over their opponent right now. Those are the two big carries of CLG that when you talk about this team, you're like, Stixxay, if he goes and he starts popping off and Darshan has that split push, if his team can peel for Stixxay and who he allows him to play his own game, then that's how CLG were getting a lot of their victories, even at MSI. He was kind of the backup of the backup, right? And then when he's on Azir, it was like, okay, let's see if these guys die, then I'm ready to go in. And now he's on more utility.
Oh.
He's going to see him.
Almost one clear. I thought they were going to do a hop 2 kill for anybody that was checking the brush, but he just did not.
No.
Could not make it over. Very, very close game as it evens out here around 23 minutes. Both teams with that Mountain Drake and one Ocean over to Immortals, so they're going to have a bit more sustain now, which, as the fights have been going on quite some time, or rather they're spending a lot of time on the map, it should help them get down this mid turret.
Yeah. Ocean, though, on a Soraka just feels really good. It feels fantastic because you're spending your HP and you just keep getting it back. It's probably the best Drake for her, hands down.
Immortals have been able to control it. Also getting themselves to the top. Reignover is able to get the Herald, and they're able to pretty much control most of the blues we've seen in this game. Many times we've already seen Reignover over there, stealing them away from Hui. Now it looks like CLG is just trying to use that time, use that effect, or use rather they have the mid turret down and get their vision up. Pushed up into the side of Immortals base here. Maybe some teleport plays to come in. Right now they're just respecting the fact that Immortals is going to push mid lane. This is where First Blood came in for Immortals. It looks like it's only going to be one card though on the turret.
Yeah, they're just trying to shove this out, try to equalize the turrets. Darshan in the bottom lane though, he may continue to split, but he's going to wait until somebody shows. They're actually going to send Huni over.
Just going to eat a few wards. So he's Spirit Visage into Ravenous. He's looking to completely sustain in these side lanes. And it looks like Darshan's going to go for the hard-hitting build once again. Blade of the Rune King into Triforce. A lot of damage for him. Mid lane still being held. Now, Immortals is going to have to continuously put pressure on this turret if they want to get it with the amount of wave clear. The TP to the guy that can TP is the way that you play it.
Well
Are they able to stop him, though? The mid-air gold card shuts down Darshan as he goes for the leap strike.
Counter-strike in 2.
Is not going to have it up. That's going to be the wild cards to finish it off. And this is a very nice job by Immortals yo-yoing in mid as well to not lose any of their members.
Yeah, that was super good by Pobelter. Pobelter timed the counter-strike, threw it mid-air, ends up hitting it right as it ends. Well played there with the Ghost chase down to follow it, and gets the flash out of Darshan too. The Reignover's caught.
Looks like the vote is swaying, and the fight's now swaying in favor of Chronologic Gaming. A nice escape over to mid turret. One finalizing hit will not happen. Repelled out by Xmithy. Darshan is down, but so is Reignover, so it's a 4v4 as these teams meet in mid, and we have Stixay just coming off of that left side to get in some poke.
Yeah, already transformed Muramana, though, and he's looking at that Executioner's calling for Huni, so a little bit less healing there. And the Soraka, right? The changes to Grievous Wounds definitely were a big nerf to Soraka. 80 carries not around. He started. Kind of unlucky, but guess you gotta take it. Or you could just back and be nice. That's fine, too.
Reignover has been a monster farm in these jungles right now, continuously staying on the camps. 143 to 98. Guardian Angel already built for him on top of his Rylai's. So this team can kind of assist each other in making things happen. Once you get that slow, you keep locking them down.
Yeah, and the fact that the Rylai's will also apply on the Luden's Echo passive of his Runic.
Right.
The jungle item will splash it and make it slow everybody around, and that's what they're looking for is these picks. If he can slow people, then Pobelter will get the gold card, no problem. Just has to lock it in. That'll be the hardest part of that combo, is locking in the gold card.
Oh, it makes it so conditional. You've seen that be very troublesome before for mid laners.
It hasn't been that troublesome for Pobelter this game, though.
No, it hasn't, and his timing as well has been on point. Looking to help a little bit of that top wave clear. Stixay from across the map. Actually, he's back in base still, waiting to come out. So waiting on a little bit of gold to finish an item. That's actually going to be his Blade of the Rune King finished up. So a few more breakpoints coming in for the players around the map.
Yep. The Cutlass came out really early. Zale was talking about the price reduction to it. Blade of the Rune King stayed the same price, though, just increased in combined cost. So picks that up. And then the Lucian build from Wild Turtle, the different build now, going back to the standard from before. It's mostly because the delta between Youmuu's and Essence Reaver and IE was changed. We'll talk about that in a second, because Pobelter...
Oh! You get one, one good gold card, the other one, the guy can still outplay you. It's all a mind game, and that may be the outplay that he needed. He waits for the next jump, flashes the strike, the empowered hit after leap, and he gets himself out alive.
Oh, the last few bullets from the culling before he gets interrupted by Tempered Fate just fly out of the zone and finish off Darshan.
I thought he was dead to rights there, but he could not get the kill down. Now he's going to try to make a play in mid lane, but you're right, no Zanyas, as he puts himself right in the frying pan. This is causing CLG to turn away from the fight, though. Rainover going very deep. They get away through the journey. It's going to have to be a follow by Immortals if they want any more of this. And the CLG more than happy to fight in front of their turret. The binding hits. While Turtle, relentless pursuits right into the middle of the fight. Him and Pobelter go down in the same fashion, and CLG turn that one around.
Yeah, and they turn their eyes on the Baron Afromu, and the Smithy played that fight beautifully. The Cosmic Bindings, locking up 2, and then locking up Wild Turtle there. And oh, another one.
Whoa. Finding some stray bananas in the forest. Adrian goes down. Rainover's got that GA. Darshan is definitely looking to pop that. Counter-strike on top of the leap. Perfectly hit, but the surge from Rainover keeps him alive. Remember, there's no slow on that now, but also just too slow to catch Rainover.
Yeah, but that's Baron to CLG, and CLG,
wow,
they're the ones that tarnished the perfect record of Immortals' last split. And they're looking to take him down here. Pobelter knows Zanya's really aggressive, jumps in, gets completely destroyed. And then the binding from Afromu lines it up, hits Rainover and Huni both, apparently. Wild Turtle gets rooted, walks up, then he gets bound against the wall. The cocoon hits Huni, and then Adrian and Rainover are too low to really assist. And Wild Turtle, instead of dashing over to the wall or to the right, dashes in, even though there's a cluster of 4 people there. You got to fight over this one. It's second mountain for either team. And Baron on CLG, if they get this.
Flash is being blown left and right. That means Smithy's going to have to pop in on a repel. If he does, the journey to get to the backside doesn't give him enough time, and they lose that second one. He's on a mission by himself. It looks like the team's going to get the Tempered Fate in to give him a little assistance. It's going to be enough. Stixay over the wall, actually, to create his own flank. Takes Pobelter off guard. He thought he was in a safe spot, and Pobelter's now been up and then down twice as he puts himself in the front of a fight. Immortals are losing a lot of ground here, and now 5,000 gold down. Just about 4, rather.
Yeah. Pobelter had a gigantic advantage up until a few minutes ago, and then he got picked twice. The Baron goes over to CLG, and Afromu is playing perfectly right now. That Tempered Fate followed by the binding. No chance for Pobelter to actually use the Zanyas at all. And Darshan has been split pushing this whole time. They gave up the Mountain Drake for it, but the split push is working right now.
And they're using every ounce of advantage that they have just got, Syrie. And Counter Logic Gaming is putting their foot down. Top lane, Darshan still trying to push Huni around. We're going to get that mixed up a lot. Huni around, and it looks like the Subjugate wasn't actually used in that fight.
Yeah, I think it was
able to go on it quite hard.
Used previously, and that's how Darshan got low. But the Thornmail and having the Spirit Visage,
so healthy.
Yeah, making sure that he's able to actually return some damage. He's just built for trying to duel Darshan right now.
Yeah, that's all he can. Ninja Tabi, like you said, Thornmail. And Darshan's still going to try to do the same thing to the top side. Level 16's now coming out for CLG, which means another alt break point for Stixay and the rest. Turtle's down 2. Pobelter's still looking for that. Ooh, Darshan in a very scary position, and they're going to get the Destiny on him as well. The red card is the slow, and it is going to be the safety. They're able to give him a quick shield to get out as who he is there. So Counter Logic Gaming kind of toying with danger, but still making their advantages work. And now it's up to Immortals to kind of regroup and figure a way back into this.
Yeah, it's definitely on Immortals right now to try and make a play, because CLG will just go for the 1-3-1 when they have TP on Huhi, or they'll just go for the 4-1 and use Huhi as gigantic wave clear with the Karma, or the disengage, because Karma's Defiance is incredibly potent for the movement speed to get away.
Right. Throwing that shield on really throws off a team. Your placement of skill shots and spells, and skill shots are a lot of what Counter Logic Gaming is based off of right now.
They've been landing them, though. Bot lane's been on fire this game.
Looks like you see an elixir as well for Huhi, trying to get just a little bit more power squeezed out of that gold he's still got sitting in his pocket. Baron minions now onto the bottom side. Darshan still slowly pushing in the top. He's going to have to be respected quite soon. It'll probably be Huni to go over there and do janitorial duty on the top wave cleanup as he already starts to move. He's actually going to take Pobelter with him.
Yep, they know he doesn't have flash.
Could be the Destiny play after this to get back into the lane and route themselves behind Counter Logic Gaming. It's almost coming up for Pobelter, so it could flow into the play they're trying to make. But CLG is still pressuring here on the bot side. Pole Belter with the walk-in. He has used Ghost to get this one done, but what can CLG do? Is it worth the time of sending 2 people top lane for Immortals? Darshan's able to stay alive with dodge for a little bit longer. The double stun! He gets taken down, but also uses the Zanya as something that'll help Pole Belter stay alive in these fights. They're forced to go back to the fountain, and CLG are looking to do as much damage as possible without losing too much. This could be Reignover's GA getting popped as CLG safely stepping outside the base. There are still a few. Xmithie and Aframu in a dangerous position, but they're still able to re-enter. Zyrene, it doesn't look like they're leaving anytime soon.
Yeah, there's only 2 members of Immortals up. Pole Belter and Huni, the 2 people who were involved in chasing down Darshan top, and there are 4 for CLG. CLG are going to try to push to win.
Talk about spreading a team thin and not even having to use your teleports to do so. The last Nexus turret is getting hit up. That is an exploding Pole Belter. He goes down immediately. Huni follows after, and Counter Logic Gaming righting some wrongs and looking a lot better here in game 1 of the series. 34 minutes in, Counter Logic Gaming take down Immortals in game 1.
And Counter Logic Gaming, that's got to feel good for them. Sitting at 7th place right now, they have to start beating the teams near the top of the standings because, like I said, they have P1 and Energy.